Greetings, weary travelers and fellow story gremlins, to the Reaction Sleepover. This is the series where we get cozy and we react to stuff. I don't know if you can hear that truck. Shut up! We live next to a bakery, and it's lovely until it's not. Anywho, we have more wedding stories today. Grab your cozies and snackies, and let's head on into it. What debauchery do we have today? I just love this person's name. Sly Pickle. I feel like that implies an awkward pickle. We've all been in an awkward pickle. Friend was throwing a fake wedding for gifts. That's a new one. It's not even a real wedding. A close friend of mine told me she was planning her wedding that they weren't actually going to get married. I feel like the next sentence should have started with, "Let me explain." She wanted to do it for social media and for gifts. I was asked to be a bridesmaid in her wedding. Plot twist, these are all 6-year-olds. We're playing house. You're my bridesmaid. I had my dress and everything. She told me 8 months before her wedding. I was shocked and appalled. Her reasons for not wanting to actually legally marry him were crazy. Long story short, I told her I couldn't stand up in her wedding knowing all of this and immediately resold my bridesmaid dress. I never talked to her again. It's crazy the extent people will go to. I often wonder if she went through with the sham of a wedding. It's like a small part of me is like, that's genius. But it's also so devious. Because if the implication is that she's tricking everyone into thinking that she is getting married, like just for gifts and for social media, I guess. Again, it's one of those, it's genius, but it's also like, how do you just do that? Trick people into giving you gifts. So devious. I sit upon a throne of kitchen utensils and hand towels. The master plan. Edit, he didn't know about this. He thought they'd be legally married. Poor guy. She told me she was never going to send it in. Is this real? This sounds so fake. I both want it to be real, but I also am desperate for it to be fake. Because it's so... I can't even think of a word for it. Devious is the only thing that comes up. It's just like evil genius, you know? Edit. She also wanted us to spend $3,000 each on her bachelorette party. The fake bachelorette party. For a wedding. Goodbye, voice. For a wedding that wasn't even happening, so she could post about her batch party on social media. And wanted all of her bridesmaids to pay $750 each for her bridal shower. I unfortunately had to eat the cost for my flight as I decided not to go either after she told me about this fake wedding. Huh? It's actually making me a little speechless right now because I don't know if I've ever heard of someone doing a fake wedding. Like racking my brain trying to think like, what could she have done instead that would have been less maniacal? Like if you're really wanting gifts, that's what birthdays and Christmases are for. If there's some things you really, really want, just put it on your list or save up to get it yourself. Wow. I feel like I just don't have any like funny things to say because I just don't even know what to say. I am flabbergasted. I am bamboozled. I have been hoodwinked. Apparently, if I were one of these guests, I would have been hoodwinked. Props to you, Sly Pickle, for dealing with a sly bride because this story is both incredible and I'm just so like, that's so embarrassing. You don't have to have a fake wedding to get gifts you want. Especially not tricking someone into fake marrying you and they're not even in on it. They don't even get to be in on the sham. Again, the amount of effort just to get gifts and post on like Instagram. There are much better ways to get likes on Instagram and get gifts you want that don't take as much work. Because having to like pretend all the time, that's too exhausting. Like, I'm already an anxious person. I can't handle lying. I'm worrying about being weird about normal things I'm doing. That is just honestly amazing. Just what leads you to this chain of events? She's just continuing the family legacy of scammers. This is a tradition. Her whole family is done. But the thing she didn't fulfill is that she actually ended up finding the love of her life, because that's why the tradition kept going. Because they actually just ended up finding the one for them every time. I hope she's doing okay, because this impresses me. But impresses me in the kind of way where I'm worried about you. Way to start off with a bang. Man. Am I the a-hole for not letting my mom come to my wedding after she ignored me my whole life? I, 26 male, am getting married to my fiance, let's call her Sarah, 25 female, in a few months. And I'm super excited about it, but there's one big issue with all the planning. My mom. A little background. My parents divorced when I was 8, and my mom, let's call her Layla, remarried pretty quickly after that. She married this guy Dave, who had 2 kids of his own. Ever since, it's like I was no longer a priority in her life. Aww. Hug time! She focused all of her attention on Dave and his kids. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say she treated them way better than me. Let's take a deep breath. I have a special frustration for parents like this. I'm smiling to hide the rage. When a relationship is getting to a point where they need to separate and when there's kids involved, absolutely, that's so difficult, so horrible. And if and when they really do fall in love with someone else and then happen to have kids of their own, that in itself is fine. As long as you don't push out your previous family. I don't know how people sleep at night when they do that. Like, that's still your child, you buffoon. They'd go on trips, she'd go to all their sport events, and they'd get everything they wanted. Meanwhile, I felt like I was invisible. She didn't ask about my school, didn't care about my friends, or even my mental health. I started to feel like I wasn't even her kid anymore. If this turns into a story of she feels entitled to go to the wedding after neglecting your whole life, it's gonna make me want to chuck this across the room. I won't, but I would want to. When I turned 18, I moved out. I thought maybe she'd care and try to stay in touch, but nope, she didn't. Great. It's just great. I text her once in a while just to check in, and she'd either not respond or say she was busy with Dave and his kids. I figured if she didn't care, why should I? So I just stopped trying to reach out. Yes, please protect your peace. Please maintain your boundaries. You deserve so much more than that. Fast forward to now, I'm planning my wedding, and out of nowhere, my mom starts texting me like we're super close.
You serious?
She wants to know all the details, saying how excited she is, and even saying things like, I can't wait to see you start this new chapter of the book you have not even read. Don't you try to do the book report without having read it first. Watching the movie doesn't count, you menace. Like, seriously? I haven't heard from her in years, and now she expects me to be front and center for my wedding? I told her straight up I didn't want her there. I said I'm not comfortable with her coming after everything that's happened. And if she really wants to have a relationship, we can talk about it after the wedding, but not before. I love that. You're not even cutting off the opportunity for her to connect with you and repair the damage she has done, but you are setting a clear boundary that this is a super important thing in my life, and I am not comfortable with having you there. Oh, I love that response. Can I give you a cookie? Throws it at the screen. Eat it. I love how kind, mature, but firm that is. That is perfection. She started crying and saying I'm holding a grudge and that I'm her son and she deserves to be there. Sure, biologically, but you haven't exactly been a mother. A person who makes no effort to actually be in your life, to actually even care or help you or whatever, is not entitled to be in your life, especially if it makes you uncomfortable. And I love how kind you seem to be. Obviously, I don't know you personally, but how kind you seem to be that you could be way meaner. But the fact that you are still like, I would be open to reconnecting, but after the wedding. I love that. But I don't know how I'm supposed to just forget the fact that she ignored me my whole childhood in favor of Dave's kids. Now my family is split. Some of them think I'm right and I shouldn't just let her show up when she never showed up for me. Others think I should just let it go and it's just one day. One of the most important days of your life. No! I don't know what this was. My interpretive dance of, I cannot believe the audacity. Me holding the one shred of sanity I have left, and it's being crushed. And that I should let her come to the wedding to keep the peace. So, am I the a-hole for not letting my mom come to my wedding after everything that has happened? No. No. And it's a shame that the people who are saying, who just want to, can't even talk. People just want to enable the behavior that's like, oh, it's just one day, even though it's one of the most important days that a person can have, that's important to them. It's not just one day. It's something that's really important to you, and you want the people there that you want. And sure, like, without the context, that sounds harsh, but it's like, it's not fair for someone to just neglect you in whatever relationship and then expect that they can just be a part of really important days or just a part of your life in general. The only way that you may have been the a-hole is if you just blew up at her, started cursing at her, like stuff like that. And even then, that reaction wouldn't even be unwarranted. That'd be from the years of trauma. And even then, it seems like you chose not to do that. You chose to be, like, I'm sure in the moment it was hard. So kudos to you for probably taking a breath and going like, hey, I'm open to it, but after the wedding. Because if you just let her come, I don't know how long ago this was, if it's already happened and if you let her come to the wedding, then that's just enabling the behavior to happen even more, because that teaches her that there are no consequences. Please, if it's already happened, I hope you did that. If it hasn't happened yet, maintain the boundary. And I know it's hard and it may feel extreme at times, but I really think that this would be for the best, because there needs to be consequences. Great job for trying to be mature and kind. I'm so proud of you. That can be so incredibly hard to do around people who have hurt you. I respect that incredibly. Take the cookie. Throws cookie. Shoves into hug. Consensually. That whole and keep the peace. It's not peace if it's unresolved issues. Even though these stories can have negative things happening in them, I love these little bits of look how kind they chose to be. That is such a good thing. Both can exist at once. You can be kind, but also no. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my best friend's wedding after she replaced me as maid of honor because I'm too fat? I'm pregnant. And asking her to pay me back for everything? And the fact that it says not the a-hole, poo mode. Ugh. Get ready for hugs. The sleepover shall be a sanctuary of love. I, 27 female, have been best friends with Claire, 28 female, since high school. When she asked me to be her maid of honor, I was thrilled and went all out to make her wedding special. I paid for the bridal shower, bachelorette party, a weekend trip, decorations, and other expenses, spending several $1,000s. So kind of you. I think bachelorette, it's technically, if I understand correctly, I don't know if the maid of honor is technically supposed to pay for it. So I think I could see where that could be kind of a gray area, but still. Even then, please don't be pressured to do something that is out of your price range. And I believe that if someone's a true friend, they wouldn't push that if you are unable to do more than what you're already doing. While it was a lot of money for my husband and me, I wanted to make her big day perfect because she's like family to me. 2 months ago, I shared that I'm 4 months pregnant. Claire congratulated me but started acting distant afterward. Oh, no. No! She excluded me from conversations about the wedding and made passive comments about how hard it is to coordinate when people are distracted. I brushed it off thinking it was wedding stress. A few days ago, she sat me down and told me she didn't want me in the wedding anymore. Her reason? I'm getting too fat and she doesn't want me in the pictures. Who needs breathing when you have rage? That's so cruel. And first of all, literally growing a human, and then even if she weren't, and she were just getting fat, that is not a morally superior or inferior thing. It's just a thing. It's so frustrating that people get so caught up in the pictures and the aesthetic that they are using that to hurt people they supposedly love. Gaining more fat on your body doesn't make you any less valuable as a person or any less beautiful. You are beautiful. It's just a thing. And also, that's just a hypothetical because literally she's pregnant. She's having a baby. It's so sad that people get so tied up in the aesthetic that it's just what is wrong with someone being pregnant in your pictures? Both things are wonderful. Both things can coexist. Come on. Come on. She said she has a specific vision for her wedding and I no longer fit it. Because she's growing life? I was devastated. I asked if this is about my pregnancy, but she insisted it wasn't personal. What else would it be? She said she was replacing me as maid of honor with another friend who fit her aesthetic. Wow. That's incredible in all the wrong ways. Even trying to leave room for the most benefit of the doubt that she's not, this person's somehow not meaning to be such a jerkwad. I don't know how, because that feels so deliberate. Literally going as far as to taking you out of the maid of honor position. That's wild. I hope you're okay. Again, cookie and hugs are available. I told her if I wasn't in the wedding, I wouldn't attend at all. I also handed her the receipts for everything I paid for and told her she or her fiance needed to reimburse me since I'd only spent that money as her maid of honor. Claire flipped out, calling me selfish and accusing me of trying to ruin her wedding. Where? It is only fair, considering the fact that not only is the bride being incredibly mean, but also, okay, if what I was saying before about the maid of honor, taking on some of the, the brunt of paying for things, I feel like that depends person to person. Totally fine. It's only fair, really. That is not selfish. That's just logical. She said it was tacky to ask for the money back and that expenses like these were my responsibility as maid of honor. It's so funny that she's saying that. because she took the title away. What? And that last sentence, I reminded her that she removed me from that role, so those expenses were no longer mine. Treating your friend like that and expecting no consequences? I think not. Since then, Claire, her fiance, and even her family have been spamming me with calls and texts. They're accusing me of being petty and overreacting because of pregnancy hormones. They're also saying I should have just let it go and written off the money because weddings are stressful and Claire didn't mean to hurt me. Even if somehow the comment of getting too fat wasn't meant to be, like, mean. And like I said, getting fat is not a good or bad thing. It's just a thing. It is a neutral thing. It seems derogatory. It just seems like she was looking for a reason to take her out of the wedding. And I have a hard time believing that that wasn't meant in a mean way. Like, genuinely mean, not even like best friend mean. That's just mean. I deeply hope she reflected on how this hurt you. Because she did hurt you. Do not be gaslit into thinking she didn't. Stand your ground. My husband is incredibly supportive and says I did the right thing. Thank you! Someone is here for you. There's nothing worse than, like, standing up for yourself and then everyone and their mother, apparently this is actually true in this case, are coming after you. All you're trying to do is do what's fair and hold her accountable for hurting your feelings. He's furious at how Claire treated me and agrees that I shouldn't be out of thousands of dollars for a wedding I'm not a part of. I forgot it was thousands. Request to be paid back in pennies. I feel heartbroken and humiliated by someone I thought was my best friend. Still, the constant backlash has made me second guess myself. Am I the a-hole for standing up for myself and asking for reimbursement? Should I have just quietly stepped aside? No. You sweetheart. As she stated, this was your responsibility as maid of honor. Yeah, and I'm not anymore. Like, her hurting you aside, that just makes sense, right? I see why the poo mode was activated. Poo-poo behavior. All jokes aside, I hope you're doing all right. Like I said, Sleepover Sanctuary is here whenever you need. And I'm so sorry that all these people have come after you enough that you feel like you're second guessing yourself. You don't deserve that. Please hold your ground. One of my favorite things is, like, you can't say you didn't hurt someone's feelings. Like, because you don't control someone else's feelings. Those are theirs to have and to express. What's important in those moments is to acknowledge, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. And sure, context of why, like, maybe you didn't mean to are important, but don't let that overshadow apologizing. And I hope Claire does this. I hope Claire reflects. And everyone else too, jeez. Everyone just doing the mob mentality to you. I'm so sorry. We are finishing off with something happy because I need that. It's honestly something I want to do that I want to call the feel-good finale. Because as much as there are turds out there are some amazing people out there too. Because we do nuance here. I just realized I have genuine friends. Had 5 of my friends over tonight to play some board games and Jackbox on the TV, and I had an incredible time. After they left, I realized that none of them needed to come, and they all had a perfect excuses not to come. One of them had a really crappy day at work, came home to a disaster of a house, had to drop off their kids at their ex's husband's house. Ugh. Oh wait, no, at their ex-husband's house. I'm dumb. It was gonna be an hour late. Another's alarm didn't go off until they were supposed to be at my place, and he lived 45 minutes away. Ugh, final destination over here. Ugh. It's the final destination of just minor inconveniences. Another was up till 2 a.m. the previous night and couldn't sleep in because she needed to babysit her nieces and nephews. Another had early work tomorrow and had a lot on his plate in terms of his job. Another was having trouble finding childcare and ended up paying someone to watch their kids so they could come to game night. If any of them called and said, hey, I can't make it tonight because of XYZ, I would have been bummed, but I would understand. They all showed up. They all had a great time and they didn't have to do that. I'm just overwhelmed with good vibes. Me too! It's really nice to have people around me where I'm not thinking, oh, they don't really want to be around me. They just feel sorry for me. Sometimes the brain goblins really do a doozy with that one. Leave me alone, I know I'm loved. They'd actually want to spend time with me and I don't have to worry. Life is good. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. I needed good vibes after that bull honky. That will be it for today. Thank you for joining the latest reaction sleepover. Those were doozies. But as always, I tried, I hope I made it entertaining and bearable and also encouraged you to look after yourself. Please look after yourself. Have boundaries where you need. Please don't let people treat you like that. You deserve better than that. And people who do this kind of behavior, you can be better than this. Everyone involved? therapy. I say that, but like really, therapy is great for everybody. Everyone probably has a reason why they need some therapy once in a while or consistently. Doesn't matter whichever between. There is no shame in that. It's okay. Get the help you need, treat yourself and other people as good as you can, and don't be a turd. Whether intended or not, don't treat people like this. And the comment of the video is, haha, your videos always cheer me, by D-A-I Light. I'm sorry. But that just made me smile, because that's always what I want with these videos. I just want to make people smile. Creators growing up always just gave me a reason to smile and cheer up, especially if I had a bad day, and that's... I both want to make things that I like, but I also really want that. So thank you. That really means a lot, because that's part of why I want to do this. I hope my ridiculousness makes you smile. I hope you're doing well, but if not, I hope this video has brightened your day at least a little bit. As always, I appreciate you all very, very much. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for being a sleepover gremlin. If you're new here, hi, how are ya?
Hi, how are you?
I hope you stick around. Take care of yourselves and each other. Do your best to be a good human, and I will see you in the next video.